Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen. Wow, this Satan fella's kind of cool. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen. If you watch this show regularly, why? Why? I have to be here, but there's no reason you can't go look at that funeral lady's YouTube stuff. Anyway, if you watch it regularly, you'll notice that my colleagues here will often talk about three particular musical acts. And those acts are, and this is in order of when you got your AARP card, those acts are Bob Dylan, the Kinks, and XTC. But what do they really know about these bands? Maybe they're just making up being fans of these bands. I don't know. So we're going to find out tonight. Tonight we've got a little thing that we like to call Trivial Pursuit, Capture, and Kill. We wanted to call it Quizzed in the Face, but we didn't want to get sued by Billy Eichner. So tonight I will be reading out questions to the band. There'll be 3 rounds. Each round will contain 3 questions, 1 question for each of them. And then, to be fair, I have got a randomly chosen rock and roll trivia site that I have not seen, but I actually did show it to a buddy of mine on Sunday. I'm like, does this have questions on it? I'm trying to look away. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, does it have questions on it? So it did. So I hope that makes sense to you folks. Now, guys, remember, pause before you answer to give the people at home a chance to answer. So we're going to begin with round 1. It says round 1. Okay, and we're going to start with Joe. And Joe will have a Bob Dylan. Again, Joe will have Bob Dylan. Dan will have the Kinks, and Dean will have XTC. If you've seen the show, probably already makes sense to you. So here we go. Joe, your first Bob Dylan question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Nervous?
Yes.
Good man. Good man. Gentlemen, encourage him. Have his back. All right, here we go. Bob Dylan's DNA and fingerprints were found in how many rooms of Jean-Benet Ramsey's house? I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with you. We knew there was going to be some assholery in this, but the answer is 4 by the 4, actually.
4.
Remember, yeah, we can't prove he didn't kill Jean-Benet Ramsey. Might as well assume he did. Okay, Joe, here's a real question, okay? All right, here we go. Bob Dylan won the Best Album Grammy in 1996 for his album Out of Blank.
Mind.
And the answer, I'm sorry, it's Out of Talent. No, it is Out of Mind. Out of Mind. Joe, ding, 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 ding. Make a note. Joe has 1 point. Woo! Okay. Joe's taking the lead here. And let me, Dan and Dean. I'm just right. I should have thought of that earlier to write those down so I can. All right. So round 1 off to an exciting start. This brings us to Dan. And Dan gets a Kinks question. Ooh, how baldy and rabelesque. All right, Dan. What boyfriend and girlfriend meet every night at Waterloo Station?
Oh my gosh. Tommy and Susie, is it?
No, it's Terrence and Julie.
Terrence and Julie.
It's actually Terrence Stamp and Julie Christie. So yeah,
really?
no point for you. No, hang your head in shame. You have brought great shame to our family.
I had the right syllables.
Yeah.
And I had the right first letters of the names.
We would have accepted Terrence and Phillip from South Park, by the way. Okay, anyway. All right, moving along, as we should at this point, before the lawsuits come rolling in. Moving along. Dean, I have an XTC question for you. Okay. What was the title of XTC's debut album?
I believe it was... Oh, God. Was it White Noise or Go? No, I think it was White Noise.
You're close. It was White Music.
White Music. Okay.
They actually, kids, don't call your album White Music. Oddly, though, XTC and that album are incredibly popular in the African American community. Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. I unrepentant racist.
I got synthesizers on my mind. White Noise is,
I know how that is. Yeah, you're not going to excuse your way out of this. So their first album was actually called White Music, and again, people don't call your album that, unless you want to get a lot of the people we get in the comments section as fans, in which case. All right, round two. Is everybody ready for round two? Okay. Oh, by the way, the winner of tonight's contest will win a year's supply of XTC Ant and Roach Killer. Yeah. No bugs in our house, are there, dear?
Wait, where's your question?
It's too much of a deal. Oh, I'm sorry. My question. Good point, Dan. I got called out.
I get a point for that?
No, you're not going to get a point for that. Let me, now my phone. Oh, here it is. Okay. So my question is, this legendary punk rocker, so that's going to be Iggy Pop. I don't have to read any further. Had a club hit with his remix of Stoneburner's Osapa Kram. Oh my God, it's me! It's me. No, I'm not. I'll read the real question now. There's going to be a lot of assholery from me tonight. Okay, here we go. According to the Animals, or the Aminals, as Emo Phillips used to say, where is the house of the rising sun? Well, other people recorded that before I don't even have to look at the choices here. I know it's in New Orleans. So yeah, we don't even have to look that one up. Yeah, Bakersfield. No. All right. Well, this is good. I get the feeling these questions might be rather easy. So I'm going to just give myself, even though I'm not playing. So I'm not a contestant. I'm the game on which the game is played. Yeah, I'm the field. All right, getting on with round two. It's just taking forever, isn't it? Joe, at what festival did Bob Dylan, because your questions are about Bob Dylan, at what festival did Bob Dylan play an electric guitar for the first time on stage?
The Newport Folk and Jazz Festival.
That is correct. The Newport Folk and Jazz Festival was where he did that. I just have Newport Folk Festival, but I'm just, and again, it was sponsored by Newport Cigarettes, which is work on next farm, no more. All right. Anyway, I'll try to get through these as politely as possible. Dan, it's time for another Kinks question for you. Okay. Oh wait, I forgot to give Joe a point there. So right now, Joe's ahead 2-0. Woo, as he would be. It's rigged.
I don't get half a point. No.
You could get. You know what? I should just be giving away points left and right. Okay, so I don't think there's any shame in losing this. Okay, this is back to the Kinks. According to a song by the Kinks, who is the head boy at the school? He is the captain of the team. He is so gay and fancy free, and I wish that I could have all he has got.
Wish I could be like David Watts.
Yes, it is in fact David Watts. Yes, but up until the Angry Samoans wrote that Jerry Curtin song, this was, and actually, if you listen to the B-side, you know what the B-side is? It's the diss track where David Watts makes fun of the Kinks. It's really, after the Real Roxanne, remember how they would release the diss track on the other side?
I'm so glad I'm not the Kinks.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not the Kinks. Yeah. Oh, how do I know that Dave Davies is the head boy? He's the one with the dirty knees. Oh, it's a raunchy track that guy released. Dean. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is a cleanup one because this is one that begins to tie it all together. Which Bob Dylan, now remember this is not Bob Dylan, it's XTC, song was covered by XTC on their debut album, White Music.
Is it All Along the Watchtower?
It is indeed All Along the Crotch Tower. Yes, it is. Which up until now, people are watching this going, I thought that was Jimi Hendrix. Keep thinking that's probably better. But yes, they did cover All Along the Watchtower on White Music. No, Exalted Cyclops Andy Partridge. All right. I'm going to hell. Round 3. And there is a bonus round. Wait, I forgot to give Dean a point, and Dan got a point too.
Oh, and you have your question too.
Oh yeah, my next question is, God, I should have thought better about this. Oh, this is, in which country were AC/DC formed? Australia. I don't even have to. Yeah, that's another one. I don't.
Easy. I don't know this. Yeah, that's pretty easy.
That's too easy. Yeah, I think I should have asked my friend, are these easy questions, but I don't know how much of a rock and roller. Angry words from a rock and roller in Rolling Stone magazine. All right, here we go. Joe.
All right.
All right, here we go. This is they get tougher as they go along, by the way. So if Joe begins to cry, this is a really tough one. All right, so here we go. Bob Dylan question. Who directed the 1967 Bob Dylan documentary, Don't Look Back?
Was it D.A. Pennybaker?
It was indeed District Attorney Pennybaker. Yeah. Also, Pennybaker's got to be one of the Keebler elves. Bob Dylan also he hangs dong in that movie. It's pretty good. And then the Hell's Angels beat a guy to death. It's one of my favorite musical comedies. Oh dear God. All right. Anyway, we're moving on now to Dan. All right, Dan. Here we go. Ready? What singer did Ray Davies meet in 1978 and have a relationship and a daughter with during the 1980s?
Ooh, Chrissy Hynde.
I'm sorry, the answer is Meatloaf. The answer is indeed Chrissy Hynde. Yeah, so yes. Yeah, okay, so Dan gets another point there.
I didn't realize they had a daughter.
But the daughter's Meatloaf. That's
Okay.
Meatloaf, yeah. That's play Paradise by the Dashboard Light backwards. And don't play it forward. Play it backwards, and it's all there, man. It's all there.
It was a recipe for meatloaf.
Yeah, it is. It's a recipe for meatloaf. Yes. He died. We shouldn't. No, we can't make fun of him. He got a little weird before he died. But he is great in the Spice Girls movie when he won't unclog the toilet.
Fight Club, too.
Yeah, he's in great.
Yeah, he's in Fight Club, but Spice Girls movie is where he really shines.
His name
He won't
Robert
clean out,
Baldwin.
unclog the toilet. He's like, I'll do anything for you girls, but I won't do that, which has been awesome. Okay. Dean, are you ready for another XTC question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this one is, of course, sent in from our home office in New Orleans, where the House of the Rising Sun is. Okay. What was the title of the EP, that stands for Elvis Presley, XTC released before White Music?
I have no idea.
That's not the name, of course. The name is the 3D EP.
Ah, okay. I don't have that one. I have a lot of bootlegs and stuff, but I don't have that one.
I can probably sell you that one. I probably got it in a bin back here. So, okay, here we go. All right. 3D EP, Senses Working Overtime. All right. So that is, I have to give myself a question. Ready? Okay. So Reg Presley was a member of which band? I have no fucking idea.
They give you choices?
I do have choices, and I could probably, looking at the choices now, I could probably figure it out from the choices. But here are the choices. Everybody ready? I think we'll all come to the same conclusion. Thin Lizzy, Shrogs, The Jam, or AC/DC. I know three of these bands he's not a member of.
Yeah, I don't know it's one of the first two. I can't.
Got to be Trogs. Got to be Trogs.
Trogs?
He's definitely not in Thin Lizzy, and because I know those guys. He's definitely not in the Jam. Three of them we know their names, and he's not in AC/DC because he's probably never murdered anybody and put their body in a barrel.
Right, so what's the answer?
The answer has got to be the Trogs. Let me hit this one because this is the last one I have to do. Yes, says good job, the Trogs. You can't see this, folks, but I've been told I did a good job on that. Hang on, let me turn this light out, and you might be able to see it says good job. I don't know. You can't see it. It says good job. I have to take my word for it. All right, light comes back on. I'm not answering any more of these questions. Oh, what's the next one?
Is there a bonus round?
What? We have a
Bonus
bonus round. That's where we're headed now. Now the questions get harder in the bonus round. So if anybody wants to bow out now, I would do that.
Do I get a point for saying Trogs?
What?
Do I get a point for saying Trogs?
You know what, Dan? You want a point for saying Trogs?
I fucked up the first one.
I gotta give Dean a half point then for his white noise thing. But yeah. Okay, you ready? I hope you people at home are keeping score because I'm all over the place on this one. All right, bonus round. Ready? This is serious stuff now, okay? Joe, which Bob Dylan song was a hit for Olivia Newton-John? And I did not know this happened until I was doing the research on this. If you can't think of anything, make up something dirty.
I'll say lay, lady, lay.
No. Thank God. No, it was indeed If Not For You.
Oh,
I
okay.
actually felt bad for Bob Dylan when I read that. I was like, imagine Bob Dylan. He doesn't know who Olivia Newton-John was back then. He was like, yeah, I'm relevant again with the young people. This might be one of those punk rockers. I might be coming back. And then and then you got to sit through that. I feel bad. I just feel bad for him that Olivia Newton toilet covered his stuff. All right, Dan. This is the easiest deal because pretty much any answer you give is going to be correct on this one. All right. I don't want to oversell it, but you folks at home, run out now and use the bathroom. Just pause and then come back and watch the rest of this video because you might soil yourself. All right, Dan, bonus question on the Kinks. Okay, why were the Kinks banned from touring the USA from mid 1965 to 1970?
I believe it was for fighting on stage, and I think there's even a story that the drummer threw a cymbal and it like almost decapitated Davies.
Yes, that is correct. There was a fight on stage between the Davies brothers, which will just tell you right now, the Gallagher brothers from Oasis ripped off everybody.
They're amateurs.
They weren't even original, beating each other up. They got in a fight on stage in 1965. The drummer went to jail, but one of the Davies brothers went to the hospital. Now, here's the thing about that. This was part of what's described in the official biography thing or whatever list as a long string of misdemeanors, including my all-time favorite of this. They apparently tried to beat up somebody on the Dick Cavett show, like one of the people involved with the Dick Cavett show. By the way, this makes me actually love the Kinks. That and the fact that everybody has a Kinks story about seeing some big jock guy singing along to Lola, not knowing what it means. But a friend of mine was actually in a bar where there were a bunch of jock guys, and they only knew like the Lola part, so they're doing that. And then when the song ended, the one big jock guy went, "I gotta find a woman like Lola." Yeah, my buddy was like,
it's transgender tolerance.
Yeah, he's like, how cosmopolitan of him. So yes, all right. So yeah, I'm going, yes, well, we fighting on stage, trying to beat up somebody on Dick Cavett show, and a string of misdemeanors, which we'll hope XTC not involved in. All right, here we go, Dean. Final XTC question. Okay, the cover of XTC's English Settlement features what British landmark?
It's the horse carved into the hillside, the chalk horse. I can't remember the name of the town that it is in, but it's a landmark in England where you can actually see it. It's carved into the side of the hill. The chalk soil, they've carved it away so you can see the white outline of the horse.
That is correct. It's actually the white horse, figures, doesn't it? Yeah, of Uffington. So, although I would have gone with that, the rude man of Serenade, the guy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I knew a woman who went up and sat on that. Okay. Supposedly you get pregnant, which they didn't tell her. I don't think she did. I don't know. I haven't spoken to her for years. All right. So as best as I calculated, and I kind of got lost partway through, but I think Joe and Dan tied at 3 and Dean had 2.5. So it was very, very close. Yeah. Yes. So
you had what, 2.5?
I stopped counting because this site. What was my next question? Oh, this is a great one. Rebel Yell is a hit song by which classic rock loon? So yeah, I think that's Billy Idol. There's a tougher one before that. In what year did Black Sabbath release Paranoid?
1970.
I would think 72. That's 1970. 74 is the next one. Let's see. Yeah, it is indeed. It says, "Here's to you." It's like something Ozzy would say. Well, folks, that was our contest for this evening. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope that you guessed correctly. From now on, we'll never speak of Bob Dylan, the Kinks, or XTC on the show under penalty of death. Oh, I got to get moving. Crap. Okay, so it's time now for recommendations. First thing I want to recommend, a few weeks ago on this show, I jokingly said that nothing was going to happen with guitar, bass, and drums ever again that was interesting. I was just kidding. And if you want proof that there's some great guitar rock out there, there is a new single by the Bellwether Syndicate called Golden Age. I'll put up a link to the song on Bandcamp and to the video. And this is the greatest guitar song in years. I mean, I love this song. I think it's fantastic. Bellwether Syndicate, I've been a cheerleader for them for a while. They're led by William Faith, who you might know from Faith and the Muse. He was also in Christian Death for a while, and I think he was even in Sex Gang Children, but he's a few years younger than me. But he's in that right age zone when you get in your late 50s, early 60s, and you get that second wind. And this song is incredible. It's beautiful. There's a video for it where it's just them out in the road playing like the sort of clubs that we play. And it's just really nice. And again, the song is fantastic, very moving. Just check it out. I would have loved to have seen this tour come to Philadelphia, but we're going to put up a little picture that shows you that no, this doesn't get to come to Philadelphia. We can't have nice things in Philadelphia. Like, that music's scary and sex talk. So, all right, the next thing I'm going to recommend is there's a podcast called One Strange Thing. They have a free premium episode, what would normally be a premium episode, but they made it free. We'll put up a link, and the episode is called The Trestle. And yes, this episode is about the official cryptid of this show, Goatman. So if you've ever wondered why we're so obsessed with Goatman, you're going to want to check this out. There's lots of warnings on this thing about don't climb up on the show. They have to give warnings before the show saying that, this little urban legend has caused real world harm. So that's really good. And then the last thing I'm going to recommend is the show House, which I love. Although why I would love a show about a snarky atheist who always thinks he's right, beyond me. But House is now on Peacock. Here's a game that you can play at home, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like tonight's game. In fact, we might make it a game in the future. It's Symptom on House's board or punk rock band. For example, Putrid Discharge. Symptom on House's board or punk rock band. Or sphincter paralysis. You're going to have to look those up yourself, folks. So those are my recommendations for this week, which brings us to Joe.
It's not lupus.
It's not. No, it's never sarcoidosis. It's never sarcoidosis.
I thought you were going to say the Trestle podcast was about the Trestle Inn bar here in Philadelphia.
Well,
No, the Trestle is. By the way, House. The last episode I saw, Wilson asked him why he watches New Yankee Workshop, and House is like, an idiot and power tools. Oh, it's exciting. The suspense is killing me. All right. No, it's the Goatman Trestle in Pope Lick, Arkansas. Pope Lick, Kentucky. Sorry.
I'm going to recommend a website called Secondhand Songs at secondhandsongs.com. It's a good place. It's a repository of cover versions and also list all the for each song, the first recorded version.
There's Olivia Newton-John listed there covering Bob Dylan. Is Olivia Newton-John listed there with Bob Dylan covering?
Oh, I didn't think to look for that. So
if you did a Venn diagram of Olivia Newton-John and XTC, Bob Dylan cover would be right in the middle. Like, you would think they'd have nothing in common.
yeah, somebody asked me who did Big Time Operator originally, and then because it's the Dead Milkmen's version is a cover, and I thought, well, we covered the Leroy Brothers version of it, but who did it originally? I didn't know, so I found this.
Was it Reg Presley from the Trogs?
Some guy named Dale Houston.
That's Reg Presley's pseudonym, yeah.
My turn to recommend something.
Sure.
I would recommend you read the two Kinks biographies. One is called Kink by Dave Davies, and the other is called X-Ray by Ray Davies. Ray Davies, I feel like I recommended it on here before. It's called the unofficial autobiography, or the unauthorized autobiography, and there's he plays three different characters in it, but the Dave Davies one is more got the dirt, the stuff that people want to hear.
How can you cross-reference stories and things? Are they?
Not exactly. Ray Davies, he talks a little bit about stuff, but it gets he talks about this like muse person, and then his character, one of his characters is interviewing him as an older man like himself, and one of his characters dies. Like it's really strange. But yeah, I might as well recommend those things because
we're recording this on 420,
Duh.
Cool. I would like to recommend a YouTube video you check out. It's on the Wired channel. It's called 13 Levels of Drumming, Easy to Complex. And it's by drummer and educator, a guy named Larnell Lewis, who has played with lots of people. I think he's most notably known right now as playing with an instrumental band called Snarky Puppy. He explains drumming in 13 levels of difficulty from easy to complex. It's like what exactly it says is on the tin. And you can get an idea of playing the drums. It's a really good video.
He did that the way I did the questions, from easy to complex. So, all right. Well, I think we're just about out of time. Also, speaking of Terrence and Julie, be sure to see the films "A Company of Wolves" or "The Company of Wolves," which has Terrence Stamp as the devil, and "Don't Look Back," which has Julie Christie in it. So, good films. But everything those two are in is good. So,